Flosstube, it's been a long month. It is Tuesday after work. It's a glass of white Zinfandel, not because it's my favorite, but because a volunteer gave it to me and it's in my refrigerator. No makeup, second day hair, but I said, Emily, you have got to film. And Buster has got to be on camera because he's meowing from the floor. So I have a whole basket. This is what I call my Flosstube basket. It sits on the piano stool at this point, and it had some other stuff in it that I kind of organized and pulled out. But when it's full and overflows, it's time to film. Buster knows when Mom is stressed. And everything is the same. It has been. It's just been really, there's been a lot going on at work. Just a lot going on. We're teaching a new class. We're taking on a new county. Crazy cases. Hiring. It's COVID. Just kind of everything hits at the same time. And it's okay. It means that I got home from work today, though, and when I went out to check the mail, I had sprayed the yard a few days ago, and the weeds that had come up, the winter weeds, were super droopy. So I just sat down in the yard and crawled around and started pulling weeds because it felt good and it was a good stress relief. And Jim comes home from work and backs into the driveway and gets out and is like, honey, what you doing? Crawling around in the front yard. He said, won't those just die and then I can mow them and it'll be like they were never there? And I'm like, because it's stress relief and it feels good. Let me crawl around in our front yard. So he did. And I weeded about 1/8 of the front yard. Which means if you see a close-up of my fingernails in a little bit, no judgment. I tried to clean them well, but we'll see. I mean, this kid. Buster this month is celebrating his 13th birthday. So Buster, ow, he turns 13 this month. I turned 39 this month. We're just celebrating, aren't we, buddy? Fine. Okay. All right, buddy, we gotta get into this. Are you ready? Do you want to get down or you want to stay in my lap? Okay. My brother-in-law is pretty much the same. He's still in the nursing facility that they moved him to. I mean, there's some forward progress, but I mean, it's smaller than baby steps, but it's forward progress, so it is what it is. Someone's trying to get my wine. I saw Megan over the weekend. She knew I had had a rough week, and it was a day where she needed a friend, and so she came down to me, and we went out and ate Mexican, and hung out and stitched some and chatted, and we only got to for just a couple of hours, but it was so nice. It was so nice. She's had both of her shots, and who knows, I'll eventually get mine. Okay, buddy, I know you love being here, but I think you're going to have to move because you're going to get fur on everything. So you lay right there. Okay. He's unhappy with me. But I was going to get Buster fur on everything that I pulled out. The first thing that I worked on since last time is a piece that I was working on last time. And I put some more in. This is a peacock, a unicorn, a badger by the Scarlet Letter. I would really like to get a lot of work in on this year, but I don't think that I will be in any position to finish it this year at all. Pretty much all that I was able to do was do a bunch of background and a little bit more work on the Peacock. And I noticed, I rewatched my last video and I try to get things up close so that you guys can see, but I'm noticing that that's almost too much. So I'll try to do both, and I'll try to hold it back, because I think that that's actually a better representation of what it looks like. Again, I'm doing this just with the DMC threads on a piece of Zweigart Platinum 36 count, 2/2, because that's my jam, and that's me dropping it. This is cut to size with a generous border, but still, I'm not finishing this year. But it's pretty, isn't it, buddy? Let's see. Don't you guys enjoy watching me package everything back up? I know that's fun for you. And of course my threads. I really enjoy having my threads like this. And there was a time, and I still have my box of like kind of a whole set of DMC at this point, because let's face it, I rob from it and then I don't give back to it. So, but I really like having the threads with the project. I really like that. The next thing that I worked on was my Dark 13 focus piece this month. You guys are going to get tired of seeing this one. It's coming back out this Saturday. This is the Weaver's Tapestry Band Sampler. So I went ahead and worked the border down last time, so hopefully I can just focus on filling in some right here, and then maybe if I work on it long enough I can pull down further. But I'll probably only work on it, I might only work on it Saturday, since I'm kind of doing a sampler, new sampler every Monday this month. I don't want to lose much sampler time on this one, but I do want to do Dark 13. So that's this. And this is on a piece of Picture This Plus Bramble, which I really like Bramble. I have this piece on it, and I actually have 2 other pieces kitted with Bramble right now. One of them I will show you today, because it's a Picture This Plus. It's not horrible to get right now, and it's a nice neutral. It's not too mottled, it's not too dark, but it's not too plain. I like it. This piece I pulled out and worked on. This is Stacy Nash Butternut Tavern. I pulled this out to work on it, and honestly, I got so close to finishing it. I'm taking a couple of days off for my birthday. My birthday's the 25th, so I'm taking that day and the next day off. And I might focus on trying to finish this one day, because I think I can. I'm really close. This last time, and this is on Picture This Plus Velt, with mostly the called for threads. If you're curious about the threads that I substituted, let me know and I can let you know. But this last time I filled in the alphabet. That entire square had been empty, and everything from here down I did. I ran out of mustard seed, but I noticed that 1, 2, 3 Stitch had some, so I bought some more mustard seed. And I'm actually going to put a skein of this in here to finish this up, hopefully later this month. I also used an entire skein of Classic Colorworks black coffee to do that roof and the horse. So they also had some black coffee in stock, probably no more. But I grabbed a couple of skeins of it too to kind of replenish my stash. Black coffee is one of my favorite variegated blacks to use. So there's that. The next thing that I started was my March 1st, first Monday in March start. And that is the 2020 Pandemic Sampler Sal, or the It's Been One Hell of a Year Sal. This is something, I've talked about this previously. This is the chart by Christy Stephenson, or Sarcy Girl, where she designed this and has made it available free. All that she asks is that you make a donation to a charity or a shelter or something to that effect. She explains it all when you go to her site. If you look her up on Instagram, she has a Google Docs link that takes you to this. It's very well charted. I'm not having any issues. I'm enjoying it a lot. And Jen from Quirks and Stitches, I was already planning on doing it, but she was like, I'm going to jump on board. I wasn't going to, but her birthday is the month before mine, and she's also turned 39, so happy birthday, Jen. So I also have been using the hashtag Jen and M turned 39, which is fun. Here are my threads for this piece, the DMC. I made myself a thread keep, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. This is a piece of Picture This Plus linen. It was originally the color Valor, and I didn't like what I was, it didn't work for what I was trying to use it for, and then I moved to something else, and so I just ended up with a piece of linen. So I over-dyed it. And this is what I'm left with. To me, it's like a really grungy velt, more brown than green. I'm digging it. I think it's going to look really nice. But I'll come back to this. This linen has been cut to size. Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts talked about how she uses Best Press and she irons all of her pieces before she photographs or she shows them on her Flosstube. And Olivia, I admire that so much. This is not the life I live. It's a life I wished I lived. It really is. I wish that I had a much neater, pressed, ironed life, but alas, I do not. But I love how neat your stuff looks. This is not my world. It would help if I put the threads back. I had originally planned to film over the weekend, which would mean that would be the last thing that I got to show you. However, I did not film over the weekend because my head just wasn't in it. I'm getting this off of my stand. So that means that today is Tuesday, which means yesterday was Monday, which means another new sampler start for my birthday month of March. And I finally started a piece that I've been so freaking excited to start for like a year or two. Jane Baxter. But I'm glad I delayed because I originally would have kitted it up with Called For, and that's just too bright. So I ended up getting the Country Sampler conversion, which you can contact Country Sampler for. And it's still like these funky colors that this little girl picked out. Like you've got a couple of purples and oranges and reds and blues, and it's kind of funky, but it's more antiqued. So I'm doing that on a piece of Lakeside Linen Vintage Maple Sugar, which kind of has a slight purple hue to it. And yesterday I started the border. So you can see I've got a bit to go. See if I can block the ring light. Oh gosh, I'm so excited about this. Maddie, Happy Go Stitchy, is stitching this, and she asked me if I was going to finish the entire border first, because she did it because I had done it on a sampler at the same time that she started this. But Maddie, I don't know if I can, because I really want to get to that turkey. There are multiple turkeys on this sampler, but that turkey is purple. Yeah, you heard me. Purple turkey. So I'm going to put this back over here because this is what I'm actually going to work on once I'm done filming this. I didn't put this back up. That's kind of one of the reasons I haven't filmed too. Like, my brain's a little mushy, is what I've been saying. Like, there was a couple of nights last week where I didn't even stitch. I had a really stressful day on Wednesday, so I came home and didn't stitch. I think it was Wednesday. And then Thursday nights are when we're teaching class, so that usually means I do a 12-hour day on Thursdays right now. So when I get home, my brain is mushy. And I just want to cram food in my mouth and lay on the couch and watch TV. So it is what it is. Let's talk next about gifts. Because I have a couple of things that were made for me that I'm undeserving of. This is something that I got for Christmas, and I just haven't shown it yet. But it's amazing, though. Diana made me this. And I'm sure there's a better way, Diana, for it to wrap up. But basically, it's this pocketed thing with this that has magnets in it. And then there's a pin cushion in it. It's so cool. It's so nice to have and be able to lay my threads on, and then just kind of, they're safe, you know? So that's really nice. I did a thread keep exchange with Marsha Cruz on Instagram, and she sent me the thread keep, which I actually have in the other room on something, but trust me, it's beautiful. But she also surprised me with this. Look how sparkly and pretty it is. And look at that. How professional. And you gotta love that leather tassel. So thank you, Marsha. That's so incredibly sweet. I love this. Probably one of the samplers that I'm going to start this month is going to go in this, because I don't necessarily have bags for all of them, and I've got to figure that out. Maybe one of the days when my brain's not too mushy, I can do some sewing. Or maybe what will happen is I will just move things around. Maybe projects that I'm not focusing on this year, and steal a bag. It won't be the end of the world. Next is this. It's not folded up, and it has a little bit of cat hair on it because it's been living on this couch with me. This wonderful blanket is from Flosstube Chelsea Olish. And I think that's what her channel is under, is just that. So if you look up Chelsea Olish, O-L-E-S-H, this wonderful woman told me she was sending me a birthday gift. And then I got this beautiful hand crocheted, wonderful blanket that just came at a good time. And I've just been enveloping myself in it when I get home. And you know, the joy of crochet is that it's just wonderful. So I may do the entire rest of my video in this blanket. But thank you, Chelsea. I love it. Like, I really love it. And she was afraid it was too colorful and there was too much pink. But it actually goes perfectly on my couch. I need to put a new pillow in this. How ridiculous is that? That tells you how much we're on our couch. Okay, so gifts. Now we're going to go into haul. I'll leave that one. Yeah, I was really going to not spend, and I don't know what happened. I stress spend. That's what happened, and I've got to stop. Okay. This went into my cart because Dana saw it and said, you've got to get this, and you have to change the 2 cats into Dharma and Buster. She's right. And this is also a very inexpensive chart. So if you, like me, have 2 cats. Kitty Kitty by Lottie Da. I'll save that one. That's a fun one. 2 Skinny Dogs, Martha Mulder, 1859. Shakespeare's Peddler. This is one of my favorite releases that she's had recently. It's new, but not her newest. I love the symmetry of it. I absolutely do. And now that I'm looking on the back of it, this is only 8 colors. So this would be a really, really good one if you wanted to try out some fancy threads or something like that. It says the threads are Weeks Dye Works if you've never used them before. This would be a good sampler to try them out with. Only 8. Hey, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Do you need my lap? Come on. Come on. This is one that's been on my list at eBay for a while because I had seen it once and thought I would really love it. This is the Nostalgic Needle Mermaid's Tapestry or Mermaid Tapestry. I'm going to be honest, at this, now that I've got it, I'm just happy to have it in stash, but I won't ever stitch it. Upon opening this and actually having it in person, it's hand charted. It is full coverage hand charted, which my mushy brain can't handle that. And it's also a lot of partial stitches and back stitching and things like that to get this image. So while it's beautiful, I probably won't ever stitch this one. This one I got because I really do need to get into compliance and have a red sampler going. This is a tiny one. Megan also has this. So Megan, let me know when you want to start this. I have a ton of Classic Colorworks Campfire, which is one of my favorite reds. Let me know. This is a re-release that I have been dying to get my hands on because I just love it. This is Ida Nolt. Hands to Work. That's who did this one. I was drawing a blank. It's so pretty. This is so pretty. It's charted for needlepoint silk and DMC. So I could see me doing the DMC on this one. I don't know, maybe I would pull from stash and do some overdyed threads. How pretty is that? And this is a smaller one. I don't see the thread count on here. And Trisha from 3 Owl Threads, to make room in her store for Needlework Expo, marked some charts down 40% off. So, you know, you gotta support your friends. So I bought this Plum Street Samplers Sewn in Friendship. From my heart to your hand. It's one that had been on my 1, 2, 3 stitch wish list anyway. And that's pretty much what I bought, is things that were already on my wish list that were marked down. So this is Lottie Daw's Little Summer Sampler. If you watch Schoolhouse Stitcher, she just showed her finish of this, and it's so pretty, and it just made me want to stitch it more. By All the Blackbirds, My Heart Can Rest by Blackbird Designs. This is a quirky one, but I really like it. I love the giant plant. This one I've had my eye on for a long time, but honestly, I think that it is listed most places at like $12, and it always felt kind of expensive to me, but I can do 40% off of that. This is Golden Peacock Pincushion. I like it. Now that I'm looking at it though, what is going on there? It looks like by the chart, and I want to show you the chart, but I can't. There's a little bit of back stitching on this to kind of give it some lines and some points, but it's really pretty. This is a Hands Across the Sea, or a hat sampler, that honestly had never really caught my eye until I saw it in her sale. And then I just looked at it closer, and I kind of loved everything about it. This is Elizabeth Atkinson, 1829. You've got this like ghost Adam and Eve, just the random motifs, a blue deer, a meaningful and nice quote that I probably would not change. It's just really lovely. And then you have a very simple but colorful and beautiful border. This one's nice. It's really nice. The next thing is a splurge. Okay, here's the problem. Let's talk about what the problem is. Because there has been such a shortage of threads in certain colors, and like when something comes in stock, if you don't grab the one skein that you need, it's sold out and you don't get it. So you don't want to, because I don't have an LNS. I have to drive hours and hours to get somewhere. So it boggles my mind and breaks me to think about buying one skein of thread and paying shipping. So I always have to justify the shipping. So I got some threads, and I justified the shipping with something that I can't believe I hadn't bought yet anyway. So this is Sewing Club by Blackbird Designs. And for those of you who got this last year, help a girl out. Because my favorite thing in here is this one. Okay? And I even love how it's finished. So we're going to flip to it. Hold on, we're actually going to stop. Okay. So I stopped because, anyway, technical editing things that don't really matter. But okay, so this is it. It's on this box. And it says that the box is by Teresa's Primitive Treasures on Etsy. But when you go to her shop now on Etsy, this box isn't an option. Oh, here's a better picture. This box. I should probably just email her and say, hey, are you just out right now? Will there be more of this box? But if someone else has already bothered Teresa and you know the answer to that, if you could let me know, that way maybe I don't have to bother her, because, you know, it's... And let's also talk anxiety for a second. Sometimes stuff like that, or some people I don't think realize that sending someone an email or making a phone call can cause some people anxiety. Like, it seems stupid, but it can, because you don't want to bother someone, or you don't, I don't know. If it's work related, I have no problem. But outside of work, sometimes I'm very hesitant. I don't know why. Okay. I also got a few pieces of fox and rabbit linen in different colors. And I would like to show those to kind of, so that other people can see color differences. Because if you don't have an LNS, maybe you want to know color differences. And I'm going to try to kind of line these up from lightest to darkest. So bear with me. Whoops. So kind of keep in mind which one you liked. I'll start over on the light side first and go through and tell you what's what. This one is Eureka by Fox and Rabbit. It's very much like a buttercream, a cream color. This one, which has a green hue to it, to me, has a green hue as opposed to the other one, is Hog Bristle. This is Fox and Rabbit Hog Bristle. This one, which is a nice medium brown, is Up in the Attic. This one, which is a little bit more of a gray brown, is Baked Clay. And then this one, which the piece of paper fell out of, these are from Fire Poppies, is where I got these, is Winter Wren. And it's kind of beautiful. So I think Baked Clay and Winter Wren are newer colors. So this is Baked Clay, this is Winter Wren. This is Up in the Attic. This is Hog Bristle. I'm going to show them together again. I know I find this kind of thing really helpful. So, and the little pieces of paper are falling out of them. And I'll never remember what they are if I don't put them back. Okay, so that's that. There are a couple of other things that I have kitted in prep for starts either very soon or later this year. This, I talked earlier about how much I like Bramble now. This is 36 count Picture This Plus Bramble. Can you hear Buster purring? Buddy. Just a little bit of cat break. I'm thinking that Bramble is going to be really nice for this, for Blackbird Designs Halloween Eve. What do you guys think? I got all of my threads together. Finally, I was able to source all of them. I've been working on this for months. I think that's going to work really well. The called for is, hold please, says 30 count Weeks Dye Works Confederate Gray. And I believe they renamed that. I don't know if it's just gray now or what, but of course in this older book it's listed as Confederate Gray. But I feel like Bramble, whoops, sorry. I feel like Bramble's gonna work well. Anyway, so that's kitted. And I finally got this in the mail, which is the Attic Stitch Along for 2021. Those who received it early got it with the wrong thread list on the back. And like I said last time, I went ahead and ordered, so I have a bunch of the wrong colors. But then I got the called for colors that they decided on. And then I changed a few. Because I'm me, and that's what I do. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and take this one off because I think I've decided I'm not using this. This is the called for Brightest Red. This is Classic Colorworks Ribbon Red. It's beautiful, but I don't think I have it in me. Okay, so I think this is what I have settled on. I have changed the Ribbon Red, yeah buddy, to Buckeye Scarlet. Chesapeake Bay, same. Eggshell, the same. Blacksmith Blue, the same. Yeah, I'm just going to go through this with you guys. Wagon Wheel, Balsam Fir, Bandana's the same. German Chocolate. I changed the medium green to English Ivy. So I wanted my greens to be deeper, because to me that lightest green there is just too pale. I wanted it to have a richer, more aged feel. So this lightest green I changed to Gassed Deep Forest, which is still a lighter green, but it's got some good variegation. Then Caterpillar's the same. I changed Rain Shower to Old Money. Rain Shower's more of a baby blue, and this just has a more greenish blue-gray. I changed Rose Petal to Tennessee Red Clay. That may change, I'm not sure, but I don't like pink, and I feel like Tennessee Red Clay still gives me a decent color difference between those. No, wait, that's not it. Between those. So, and then the last one I changed Honeycomb to Ye Old Gold. So that's where I'm at. Also made me a thread keep for that. I have not chosen a piece of fabric for it yet, but I had thought that once my Fox and Rabbits got here, that I would choose one of them. So maybe we'll do that together right now. I definitely do a floss toss, and that's just how I do it. And as I'm putting these on here, because I'm thinking I want either Up in the Attic. I was thinking Up in the Attic. And these are the threads on Up in the Attic. But now that I have it here, I'm really digging the baked clay. Maybe that's what I'll do. It'll probably be one of the two. You guys let me know which one you like. Up in the Attic or baked clay. Up in the Attic or baked clay. And I know there are probably some of you out there who are going, they're really not that different, Emily. It's really not a big deal. But they are different. They are. Hot bristle, no. What if we really went weird and did it on winter wren? I think that some of those might get lost on that, but look how rich it looks. Because you're going to have a lot of this green. I worry that that green might get a little lost. I'll decide. I'll figure it out. The next few, that's probably going to be my start in April. The next few weeks in March, I'm going to start Jane Stanwyck's, who is a little worse for wear. She's gotten very wrinkly. I think I'm going to do her on the called for linen that came in here. And then we have Maria Finney, who I'm doing on this piece of Extrude Designs. This brown gray, this luscious, it's luscious. And I think my birthday week start is going to be the Mary Argent sampler. Because I love this one. It's huge, it's beautiful, it has a giant house. And I've stuck in here, along with the straw that came with it, a piece of vintage exemplar, because that's what Nicole used, and if Nicole did it, it's got to be right. I think that's it. I think that I'm done, and now I have to clean up my mess, and I think I have to find some dinner. Jim left to go to his brother's house because it's one of their game nights, which makes a perfect night for me to film and drink a little wine. But I do need to find some dinner. Oh, Needlework Expo, new releases. I'm really, really excited about a few of them. There is the, I'll pop up pictures. There's the Plum Street Samplers release that was originally released a few years ago at the Linens and Threads retreat in Australia. And I have been waiting, not so patiently, but I have been not so patiently waiting for it to be released widely. And now that it is, whoever gets it in stock first is probably who I'm ordering it from, which makes no sense because I'm probably not going to start it right away, but I need it in my grubby little hands. This one. It's beautiful. I was talking with Megan about it, and she's in love with it too. She loves the teal, of course. And it's just so pretty. I mean, even Kelly messaged it to me, and she was like, have you seen this? Yeah. I've been waiting for years. God, I need to wash my hair. I look like some oily, scruffy hobo. There is a Stacy Nash that I'm absolutely in love with. There is, it's one by Lucy Beam that I just think is the cutest thing ever. I need that. It does make everything okayer. I think those were my biggies. It felt like there was another one. Liz Matthews had great releases. Kathy Barrick has great releases. But those were the ones where I was like, yes. Yes, 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 yes. All right, I'm rambling. I'm going to go and eat and edit this and get it uploaded for your viewing pleasure. And then I'm going to relax and back at it again tomorrow. Hope you guys have a wonderful March, and I'll see you next month.